Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy.
If you have a puppy question you need help with, join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Instagram or TikTok at the Puppy Academy.
This is where we tackle your toughest training challenges and guide new puppy parents on how to make puppyhood easy.
If you're ready for more in-depth puppy help right now, check out our online school at thepuppyacademy.com to have us personally guide you through every step of puppyhood and in raising a happy, well-mannered pup.
We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show. Welcome to Ask the Puppy Trainer Show episode
233.
Woo! All right. Anyone that wants to throw in questions, we have questions that people have sent in, but you know us. Oh, you want that paper so bad.
Ooh.
You want that paper.
Is that what you wanted?
If you guys have any questions that you have for like follow-ups after we answered these, you can throw them in the chat. If anyone is here and you have a question here, follow up in the chat. And if you have any other questions, toss them in the chat. We like the back and forth, so we're probably going to answer more of the chat questions than we do these ones. We just really like that back and forth.
We will prioritize you.
I'm going to start with Janelle. Okay, great. I said that perfect, right? 13-week-old golden retriever land shark. Potty training help. She goes outside and inside. And then some squiggly eye faces.
Oh, we were just talking about that with the dog. We don't know. We can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Next question. You need a structured schedule. You got to get on some kind of schedule. Sorry, we're feeling very zazzy today.
Not just
I know
that.
I am. I'm on a bunch of medication. Why are you feeling zazzy?
Not just that, but we are currently dealing with one of the most difficult cases we have ever had for potty training. So,
but they're doing everything and they're still struggling. These guys probably don't have a really tight schedule. So let's talk. Are you done with me? Do you want Bethany now?
no, you just don't want to deal with him. Here, go ahead.
We need to get you on a structured schedule. So that means putting your dog in the crate, leaving them there for an hour or two, kind of managing like how much water intake they're getting before going into the crate and how much when they're out of the crate. And then when you bring your dog out of the crate, here's what's important. You got to put a leash on that dog. Make them wait at that threshold of the crate a little bit so they're not coming out like a bullet trying to seek out every space of your home. They run for 30 seconds in your living room. That's pee on your floor. So the leash gives you a little bit more control, allows you to slow them down with that crate door. And then when you eventually take them outside, you make them wait at thresholds. If they're not having potty accidents in the house right after coming out of the crate, make them wait at those thresholds. It's going to calm them down a little bit, bring them down.
First thing in the morning, I might carry him outside, but the rest of the day, they're walking.
We do that with a lot of our puppies, including not Tucker. Tucker's
good.
Perfect. But then once I get them outside, I still have them on a leash. We're even still leashed. Because when I take them to the area I want them to go in, I give them the length of the leash. I kind of stand like a tree in one spot. I don't want to move across 20 feet of space because every new 5-foot gap is a new snow spot and you'll be out there for another 5 minutes. Stick to one area. 3 to 5 minutes. You wait longer than that, pick them up or leash them or use their leash. Walk them back inside. Did I just elbow you in the face?
Yep.
Sorry, bud. Walk them back inside. He keeps going back for the elbow. Put him in the crate. If they're under 4 months, I'll probably do like 5, maybe 10 minutes in there. If they're 4 to 6 months, about like maybe 10 to 15.
In the crate, not the yard.
Yes, in the crate.
Yeah.
And then after 6 months, I'm probably doing 15 to 30 minutes. So you get to play with those numbers.
It's that repetition.
If you hear a whine from your dog, and it's not the like little bark, but it's like a high-pitched scream bark, that's the, I'm going to poo. I'm going to pee and it's going to be right here if you don't get me out. You can acknowledge those higher pitched barks if they sound different from your normal ones. Rinse and repeat. It's all about habit. It's repetition. So when you've done that enough times, dogs start learning that they pee right when they come out of the crate. And then after that, you give them your activity time. You do your walk, your play, your training, your little bit of enrichment sniffing. So like they can get outside and actually get that fun sniffing without it always being zoomies and eating grass. Like you gotta check all your boxes off. And then before they go back to the crate, how much water are you giving? This is kind of like more of a general amount. Half cup of water for every 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. So if it's like a 10-pound dog, what's 1/3 of a half cup? About 1/6 of a cup, which is about an ounce of water. Now, if you give that water and they've been running around a lot, they're going to drink that little amount of water and then they're still going to be panting like they need more. Wait 10 minutes. Put them in the crate so there's no more running around. There's no more energy release. Let them settle for 10 minutes and go check on them. Or, even better, get a camera. They can just pop open your camera, see they're panting still, give them a little bit more water. They still need some. If they're not...
Did any of those drugs you take involve uppers?
Yeah, like norepinephrine or something or other. Oh yeah, every flu medicine has like a bunch of methamphetamines inside of it.
So if anybody, is listening...
I'm jazzing. This is the only thing keeping me alive right now. If I wasn't here, I'd be like dead on the floor right now. So, welcome.
Anybody listening to this on the podcast, you can speed up or you can slow people down.
Can you slow me down? Really?
Mm-hmm. On a podcast, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, good luck.
These people are stuck.
Once you give that water, though, you actually put them back in the crate. Now, that sounds weird to some people because a lot of people do an extra potty before going back to the crate. Am I going slow enough for you now?
I don't know. I tuned out about 5 minutes ago.
When you put them back in the crate, they're actually learning how to hold their bladder with that water for the next hour or two while they're... See, he likes you.
If they're...
I have ADHD, he's talking at the perfect speed.
Woo, girl! Welcome to my life. I got ADHD and norepinephrine right now.
No, he actually is fast a lot today. It's just like back when he used to have a ridiculous amount of caffeine.
Be honest,
and I told him
feel that fast.
And I told him he had to stop.
I also drink 4 shots of espresso.
Yeah, you've got to stop.
I just had to wake up and like get to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure when you take the
You made the dog bark.
No, he's
it was the crow. It was the crow.
Tucker's trying to chase some birds.
I can't pet you now. You're barking.
So that's true. So when you take your dog out, let's make sure that you're being really neutral and you're not trying to be like, go potty, go potty, go potty, and have food on you and you're constantly distracting your dog. Be calm, be neutral, be a statue. If they really, really get into a smell, this is where the leash is important. Just kind of tug them and move them on because sometimes they'll just get stuck rather than sniffing and moving. You can just use the leash, but don't make a big deal about it. Go back to ignoring them again. Make sure you're only doing a few minutes outside at a time. Don't be out there for 20 minutes till they potty.
We're not looking at the crow's button.
Even if you got to leave for work, it's better to put them back in crate to settle for 5-10 minutes and then give them another chance than to stay outside for 20. Like I promise you. So that's where we would start. And definitely no water 3 hours before bed. And I think you got enough to go on to start with. I think it's time Tucker.
Wait. I want to see if I can settle him back down. This is so he can look at the crows.
Jennifer, says on here, tips to handle food aggression, please. There are no tips for food aggression. Food aggression is incredibly resource guarding. Any resource guarding is very dynamic. It's very multi-layered. It is never just about food aggression. It's about relationship with food, the scenario that your dog is in, how they're doing it, their relationship with you, their relationship with other animals or people or kids in the house. So I need a lot more detail. What's the age of your puppy? Where are you seeing it? Where is it happening? Are they just snatching food out of your hand intensely? That's very different than actual food aggression. So I just need more details, age and breed mix of your puppy. And it has to be a puppy. I'm not going to answer adult questions about resource guarding on here or anything on here. Sorry.
The question is just too hard to answer between a puppy and an adult dog.
It's too hard to answer.
8-week-old puppy.
In general. But we will help you if I get specifics.
What setup when I'm gone for 4.5 hours? Too young for a crate for that long. You got to do like a little playpen setup. So get a playpen. You're going to actually put a crate inside of the playpen. Keep the door open or just take the door off altogether. Put a little potty pad on the opposite side. And the water one is a little tough.
4.5 hours, they don't need water. They're fine.
No, like 8 hours that I probably would, and then probably also hire like a rover to come give maybe like a midday potty or something, so it's not just on the pad in 8 hours gone. But
6 to 8, I would give a tiny bit of water, or even teach them how to drink out of those gerbil things. They can absolutely do.
Things, they have them for dogs.
Yeah, they can all absolutely do it. That's an idea. I personally, unless you have a really specific type of playpen. I am not a fan of playpens when you're not home. I think they're dangerous.
Lid, huh?
I think they're dangerous. I think I've just seen too many
They have different things. They have like puppy condos, so they're fully enclosed.
Hey, you're done. You're done for a second. Just for a second. Just for a minute.
I'll jump in like 5 seconds, yeah?
Okay. 10. Give me 10.
Oh, wait, 10.
Give me 10. So I would honestly get a giant crate if you have a small breed dog, and I would just do that. They have those fancy, apartments.
They're only like $2,000.
Yeah, they're and they have like 2 separate crate areas. if you got the money, you want to spend on something like that, fine. But you could just get a giant, a big 42-inch crate. And that way there's plenty of room for the puppy's area and the area for the puppy pad, or the grassy patch. I would do grassy patch or something like that. I would put that all in a big crate, if I felt like that would really help, if that was my scenario. You could do that in any area of the house. It could be a spare bedroom. It could be the garage. Honestly, I have just had dogs be in the bathroom, a small breed dog be in the bathroom before, or a medium-sized dog. You're going to risk getting things chewed on, but there's options for you if you feel like he would bust out of a playpen or climb things to get out of the playpen desperately or knock it over. Definitely, if you go the playpen route, or honestly, nowadays, everybody should have a camera on their puppy if they're going to leave for large periods of time, so you can see what the temperament of your puppy is like and how they're doing with different setups that you do.
I also advise that if you guys are going to use a playpen, find some way to cover the top of it. Look up those X pins. So it's like the clear plexiglass ones. Those are safer. The metal bars, if they jump up constantly and are touching their paws to it, they can get a paw stuck and then hang from that paw till you get home.
Someone over here on TikTok said, when you are crate training a puppy, is it okay if the crate and everything is in a completely different room than you? Absolutely. That's perfectly fine. In fact, you're going to potentially prevent a lot of future issues if your puppy is good with that. Now, dogs are very social, and they do like to be,
mentality animals.
Yeah, they do like to be around people, around things, but whenever they're, all the time, actually, not just whenever they're sleeping, they like to be like that all the time. But that does not mean that is a good idea to always have them in the room with you. I'm okay with it because it is true to their nature, but then you're getting up potentially several times a night. This has happened to us. You've got a husband, because I don't snore. You have a husband that snores, and it legit wakes up the puppy. There are so many really good reasons to have the puppy in another room, and it can prevent some separation anxiety issues as well. And then once the puppy is a full-fledged adult or close to it, and you want to start to bring them in the room with you and lay on a dog bed on the floor, and then eventually in the bed, we're totally okay with that. Just start with structure first before you go to anything else.
Then we have the flip side of it, which is if a dog does have separation anxiety already, you have them sleeping in a different room and they're barking their head off. Some dogs actually do better with your circadian rhythm. So your breathing pattern, your snore pattern, all those can also help a dog who is doing a lot of barking from the crate.
All right, Jennifer.
Similar question, go up.
Well, this is a follow-up.
Okay.
Jennifer says, she was asking about the food aggression. 7-month-old Cavapoo. It's not always food. It could sometimes be items that she's not supposed to have. So I still don't have a lot of details, but I'm going to guess because of the age you gave me. So unusual, first of all, for a Cavapoo, but it does really go to, you look at the dog, not the breed. It's very unusual for that breed and that breed mix to do this. So 7 months old kind of tells me that she's been practicing it for a while, and that is yesterday that has to stop. And so every time that dog comes out of crate or out of your bedroom or wherever they hang out, they are stopping on leash. So much about any sort of resource guarding is really about the structure that you've put into the home to teach impulse control. You cannot go after any form of resource guarding if there are not tons of protocols in place in the home where you're also teaching your dog high levels of impulse control. So that's thresholds. A 7-month-old should have no problem sitting, having a leash put on, open the bedroom door, any door that opens in the house or exterior doors. If it, crate door, car door, if it opens, the dog should just freeze, move back and sit, or just sit. Any of those are acceptable. Freeze, moving back and sit, or just sit right where they are. I don't mean teach that. I mean a 7-month-old can already be doing that, should already be doing that. And that would be the first thing I would really focus on if I'm dealing with the resource guarding. On leash throughout the house. The dog is tethered to me. I'm better about picking things up for the next 6 months, at least short term. And I'm in complete control of what that dog is doing when they are out of crate, out of their safe area. It's imperative. Even if you have 3 kids, this dog is tethered to you all the time, or it's tethered to the oldest in the house. So there's a preventative factor. That is so crucial because every single time your dog practices picking up one of your kids' toys or a sock and running to the edge of the room and growling, it becomes more cemented as a neural pathway in the brain to become a habit of this is how I handle this scenario. So every time it happens, even if you're mad about it, even if you get it back from them, it doesn't matter. You have to be preventative while you're working on other stages of impulse control. So anyway, thresholds, waiting for food, working on a good heel on the walk. So a dog sees another dog. We just had Tucker in here, saw a bird. It's like, can you redirect off of distractions? That's the other thing that you're working on, not with excitement, but you can use food and leadership, absolutely, with a 7-month-old. And the big thing is, what does their drop it look like or their out when you play, when you're actively playing? I actually want to really, really condition break, tug, 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 freeze, drop it, sit down, break, tug, tug, tug. I'm not even throwing a toy with a dog that resource guards. I'm actually not even going to give up possession of, so get a long, thin toy. I'm not even going to give up possession of the toy if I can help it. If I do accidentally, or when I do get to the next phase, which should be in just a few days of giving up the toy, I have got a leash on this dog on a martingale or a slip lead. Slip leads are better, but dogs will chew those up if they're hanging around the house on a slip lead, even tethered to you. They'll sneak in chews. So it would be cheaper, martingale and a leash. And I do pressure up right away if I get any nonsense. Any tuck of the head. I do this with labs all the time because believe it or not, labs have so much stuff taken out of their mouth. You know what? Another breed that's more prone to it that are like labs is Bernies. I come across a lot of stubborn Bernies,
really?
A lot of stubborn Bernies that will start the head tuck and they just get stuff pulled out of their mouth all the time. And then by 8, 9, 10 months old, they're big and bad and stubborn.
That's my Bernedoodle experience.
Yeah, big, bad, stubborn. And then they'll start to resource guard. Occasionally labs will do it too. And when labs go that way, it's hard to get them back, even though it's uncommon. Sorry.
They're
anyway.
so driven. Their drive is off the charts.
And resilient.
Yeah.
And happy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah. I worked with a lab that could bite the owners and 30 seconds later just be like,
I love you.
yeah,
Let's
like
go have
kissing,
some fun.
licking, and they were bad bites.
Whereas a German Shepherd stays disgruntled for days. Mm-hmm. It's just so funny. Okay, anyway, the different attitudes. See what you're doing to me? You're getting me off topic. So anyway, you're gonna do slip or that leash pressure. I can be on the ground because it's Cavapoo. Tug, tug, tug. Oh, they got it. Oh yeah, good job. Celebrate. Let them have it for a second. Don't make a big deal about it. Good job. You got the toy. Reel them in gently with the leash. It's not a correction. You go to reach for it, and I so much as get a head tuck out of a dog that's got a history of potentially resource guarding, leash pressure straight in the air. You're not pulling your dog clear off the ground, but you are doing uncomfortable pressure where they will prioritize dropping it and then taking it, and then I'll stand up, reset, and a sit. But play's not over. That doesn't teach him anything. Go again. And you just really fine tune that and really build your relationship with the play and the drop it. And then that way, on day 8, 9, 10, when the dog picks something up they're not supposed to have, goes to the corner of the room, starts growling. Well, first of all, I forgot to tether my dog to me, but I did not forget to have him drag around a leash. So I'm just going to calmly walk over to them in the corner of the room, step on the end of the leash. Do not grab them by the collar or close to the collar. Well, it's not about the biting for me. It's about the least amount of conflict possible. Because
they'll bite you.
Because we're so, well, eventually, that's what it leads to.
Yes.
Even if they won't bite you for the next 3 months, if you're doing this weekly, going up, grabbing and pulling out of mouth, you're creating so much conflict. You're creating the resource guarding, or they already had it genetically. You're just making it worse. So anyway, step on the end of the leash, a little bit of, leash pressure up. I could be here all day, buddy. Just going to wait you out. You spit it out. I'm going to probably keep pressure on it because you might just go for it again right away. Now you have a choice. This is where you get a trainer. This is where you get one-on-one help. You can either work on positive reinforcement only, guide them away, food, pick it up, drop it, food, pick it up, a little blocking. Or you can do a style that is more, it's still passive, it's still non-confrontational. You're just waiting, they drop it, and then you actually move into them and you work on blocking the toy. Either of those steps, whether you go more positive reinforcement or whether you go more like balanced type of, however you want to look at it, training. There's too many buzzwords nowadays on social media, but whichever route you go, you have to have one-on-one help, because this is where you could really screw things up further. But hopefully what I've given you so far is a way to go ahead and get a handle on things and give you some things to think about and some safety stuff. Anything to add?
These techniques should decompress your dog, not compress them further. So if you're decompressing your dog, you're seeing them starting to take breaths, back off, you're able to give that slack and they're not just shooting back for that toy, then you're probably successful and you may not need to get a trainer yet. But if your dog is going back for that toy, you're moving in and they're challenging back.
If there's more intensity.
You needed a trainer 2 weeks ago.
That's an excellent point.
So it's like finding if you actually need it or not, or if you're waiting too long, or if you already should have done it. Last thing is when you do that leash pressure, because we always get people that question it, especially people that are like doing more positive reinforcement only training. When you're adding that tension in the leash and your arm is out away from you, it's not to lift them off the ground. It's only enough to lift the head above the shoulder, but they can come off the ground when they go to grab the leash. So if they go to grab the leash, they kind of kick up to bite the leash or like hold on that toy. That's when they can reach under, grab the leash and just go back to holding. So you're kind of shaking off those paws. After a few of those, they'll put their feet back on the ground. You need to make sure you can go down so their feet are allowed to touch. It's not to choke them and suffocate them to get them to drop. It's to hold a pressure and prevent movement. So it's boredom that kicks in and then they kind of submit and give in to you.
And in case anybody missed that, the reason he was like, go back down is because when they do their front paws, a lot of times they jump up.
Back legs.
And so then they can easily, start to nip you. And what they're doing, they're trying to get a rise out of you. They're trying to figure out a new way to control this new situation, this new thing that's come up. Stay calm and relaxed. There's no intensity. You are a master of your own emotions and you stay emotionally regulated and you're just preventing escalation in your dog. And then relaxing the leash, or you're having to move them away from the item right away once they relax.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Well, no, I want a question lesson now.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
From Lily. I have a 5-month-old pup who can sleep in crate at night, but during the day she wails. So nighttime dogs already kind of want to sleep, so it's a little easier to get sleep out of them. Yeah, usually.
It's
this situation.
TikTok, right?
She does.
Yeah,
I have
TikTok.
no idea.
It's TikTok.
I look at both of them. So she wants to sleep at night, so she's more like, I kind of just stare at one side of your head. During the daytime, it's different. It's about energy release. So I have 3 boxes I need to check off. Physical, mental, and some form of existence. Once those 2 first boxes have been checked off, that's like when I bring the dog out of the crate. I won't go over the whole schedule again because we did that earlier in the live. But basically, when you bring him out of the crate and you finally get that potty from him, when you bring them in on leash, that's your activity window. You actually have to continue working with them. You need maybe 5 minutes of enrichment sniffing outside after your potty so they get some of that bigger energy out. I do 5-10 minutes of play, especially if they're like 5-6 months old. I might even do like 5, 10, maybe 15 because I'm trying to bring some of that bigger energy down.
Do it to where you see the edge taken off. Do enough, whatever that is, do enough play to where you see just the edge taken off.
Then you have training. And let me be clear, training and play, they don't have to go in that order. I have brought out a toy to my dog and they ignore it for sniffs. They want to eat stuff. Pull out some food, do some training for 10 minutes. And then when they get bored of your food or they're nipping your fingers a little harder, switch to play. You kind of bounce back and forth. I might even do 10 minutes of training, 10 minutes of play, 5 minutes of hanging out on the floor, chewing his bone, another 10 minutes of training, and then maybe 15 minutes of hanging out by my feet. That's like the existence part.
Yeah.
What we're doing with the dog before we put him in the crate is we're teaching them how to be calm outside of crate so they can also learn how to be calm inside of crate and vice versa.
Some dogs do it on their own. But
most dogs don't.
But so many puppies, we have to shape it, especially if you have a busy household.
That's your walk. That's your play. That's your training. When you've tackled all those windows and you can just have a dog lay by your feet or kind of just mosey around your environment for 5-10 minutes without getting into things, that's what you're trying to teach them. And then I have a 3-strike rule. This is one of my ways of just knowing if a dog is overstimulated. While they're hanging out, they come to jump on the couch and I'm like, no, off. And I kind of like bump them off and they don't just get off. They kind of like hang out there for a second. I'm like, okay, strike one. They nip at my shoes or like are chewing the edge of the carpet. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, no. Step in, body block, redirect them with some food. They go back to just chewing their toy. That's strike two. The third thing happens. They jump, they bark, whatever it is. I'm starting to lose my voice. That's where you take a breath. Take a breath, because there is no for strike three. Yeah, don't lose it. There is no for strike three. Shut up. All there is a deep breath. This is where you gotta fake it till you make it.
A deep breath.
Walk up, pick up the leash.
What? Walk up, pick up the leash.
Thank you. Wipe all the emotion off your face and calmly walk your dog to crate. They may not want to go into crate. You might actually have to get them as close to it as possible. Get kind of a hand under the bum and start kind of start shuffling them into the crate. But it's not like a foot and then move your hand away. No, it's a constant until they're all the way in. You're not shoving them, but you're keeping a constant pressure. Guidance with leash so they know their direction.
That's only if they refuse to go in.
Most dogs are if they're overstimulated. They're going to be a little bit cranky, a little fussy. I'm going to toss a treat in. I'm going to toss some food in. Like, I'll do everything in my power to get them in. But if they don't, they are going in no matter what.
It's for you, not for the dog.
That's correct.
Yeah.
If you are at the end of your activity window, so your dog's been out of the crate for an hour, they're 5 months old, and they just really can't handle more than that. The reason the 3-strike rule is there in my mind is because they're kind of telling me with that 3-strike rule, whether they're cranky, tired, overstimulated, maybe they're ready for the next hour and a half of their nap time. That's what I would do. If it's like 10 minutes into activity time and you're already at 3 strikes, that's an overstimulated puppy. Switch up your technique. Maybe you crate for 3 minutes just to kind of bring them down a little bit, but I think that's a crutch. I would go from training to play to a walk. Like, you can mix that around to find what they need. So if you're doing this at the end of your activity window, the end of that 45 minutes to an hour of being out of the crate, that's them just being ready for crate time, nap time. They want to go to sleep. Help them.
All right, Jennifer says, thank you. I will start with the leash in the house to get some one-on-one training. Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer. And Spark says, 15 pounds of chaos now. I gotta come in one of these Thursdays. Wednesday. We need to
want to see Bethany too.
Yeah.
Wednesday. She really loves Spark.
Yeah, I love Spark. Just so you can see how
It's one of our graduates.
how big he's gotten. Yay. Good to see you, Spark. And yes, 1:35. We got to roll. Thank you for joining us. Same time, same place next week. Bye, everybody.
Timing. Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.